excited about the Millionaire name, but don't let that bother you. That's just I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I've launched multiple 6 and 7 figure businesses over the years and have succeeded doing that. So I got YouTube up and running, and now we're going to record right here on Zoom. And boy, I tell you, I love being with you guys. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me. Okay, so this is what we call the Millionaire Success Blueprint or Millionaire Success Secrets. We know it by several different names, and I'm going to be sharing with you 8 steps for how you're going to actually thrive and succeed. And you want to make sure you're taking notes, write down these steps, because if you miss any of this or you don't do it in the right order, you won't reach your ultimate success. Yesterday I had a great opportunity to talk to a gentleman. We were talking all about success and really reaching that zenith that God has for us in this realm. And there are many of us that have what we call success blocks. In other words, we don't feel worthy of it. We don't feel that we deserve, but let me just share this with you, that no one benefits by you playing small. No one benefits by you not reaching your ultimate potentiality in this realm. And if there are many people, and maybe some of you listening, there are many people that God, you know, is trying to give them gifts, but they just reject. They say, no, no, I don't need that. I don't want that. And there can be a point where you become so spiritual, okay, that you actually forget. Some people say you're no good earthly. I don't say that, but you become so spiritual that you begin refusing the good gifts that the universe is trying to give you, and you're not doing anybody any favors by living below your potentiality. You're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing the God you serve a favor. You're not doing your family a favor. You're not doing anybody a favor by squinching your gifts. So we're going to talk about these 8 different zones, these 8 pillars today. And I want you to, again, write them down and begin to implement this in your life, because it will change you. I guarantee you. So, and also, if you guys have any questions while what's up, guys? All right, you guys are joining in. Hey, I appreciate it. I see it. All right, so if you have, I'm going to open up the chat. Uh, Dana Hood says celery juice with the Waterloo coconut seltzer. All right. All right, Dana. And then Crystal says, good morning, everybody from upstate SC, South Carolina in the house. And then Diana is like, what's up? Anyway, you couldn't hear me earlier because I got this new microphone that I'm learning. So, but now you guys can hear me. So that's great. All right. So let me share my screen. Let me get this. Let me actually go to the desktop. Yeah, let me do this. Let's go to, let me open my PowerPoint. All right, here we go. All right, this is a success seminar, and I call this the Millionaire Business Blueprint, or you could call it Millionaire Success Secrets. If you guys have anything that you want to share with me while I'm going at this, just unmute yourself and just share, because I'm going to hit it pretty good, and then I'm going to kind of open up for questions. So this is Millionaire Business Blueprint. This is Knolly Success Coaching. You're in the right room. This is absolutely free. This is something that Artemis and I do from the bottom of our heart. What makes Knolly Success Coaching unique? We have weekly coaching with myself and Artemis. Members only Facebook group. So remember to jump in there if you have questions around your business. We love to help you there as well. A library of coaching training. So every time that we do a training like this, we expect you to share it with those that you love, and then you can access it there in our group. You have an exclusive accountability partner. So if you haven't plugged into the accountability partner part of this, you definitely want to do that. And I'll talk a little bit about that today. And then live event training series. So those are the 5 different key aspects of Knolly Success Coaching. No, it's not 400 bucks a month. It's not $100 a month. It's absolutely free, as you guys already know. We're Christ centered. It's 100% free, and it's our chance to really give back, pay it forward. And we are getting so much feedback, great feedback, and we're getting so many dividends from the universe for doing this. So we're excited to do it. If you're not part of this already and you're watching this maybe on YouTube, you can go to Knolly.com and sign up to Knolly Success Coaching. It's absolutely free, and we want you in the family. So, this is our weekly Zoom. We do this every single week, except the weeks when we don't do it, which there are some. So, just a little bit about me. I wanted to kind of preface this. There are some maybe that are listening to this that don't really know much about my background. So, I started my first business, my first real business in 1992. Now, I became an entrepreneur when I was 13 years old. I discovered entrepreneurship, and it's one of those things where when you are a business person, it just is who you are. Just like when you're a leader, you're walking down the road and you see people following you, and they're like, "Why are you following me?" Well, because you're a leader. That's what God created you to be. You've got people following you, and so at the age of 22, I started my first real business. I was able to generate $1,800 that I raised from family and friends, and I was like, "Hey, I want to start my own business. Who's going to help me?" So I got 50 bucks here, $100 there, raised $1,800, grew the business to six figures within 4 years. We were generating $150,000 a month within our first 7 years in the business. So that's just a little bit, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love to, and this is something you guys may not know about me. All future businesses that I've grown have grown to 6 or 7 figures within the first year. So every business that I've started since that first business. So I like to say that my first business in 1992, that was really the business that allowed me to do a lot of trial and error. That's the business that I ended up ultimately in bankruptcy. I ended up losing a home. I ended up learning. That was like my proving ground. That was my PhD. I ran that business for 11 years, got a PhD in business from that experience. And now since then, I've been able to cut a learning curve off of any new business that I start. I'm in 6 or 7 figures within 12 months. So in 2003, I jumped into real estate. I was at six figures my first year. In 2009, I started a short sale training business. I know you guys were talking a little bit about distressed property and what the market might do. Who knows? But that's what I did in 2009. I started doing that. That became a six-figure business right away. 2010, I started a short sale processing company, and that was a multi six figure. 2014, I started a listings training $1 million business, which was up and running within a year. And also in 2017, I started an online training business. I started following Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels, and all that. Became very adept in that. Just followed it like it was scripture. And learn how to master online training. So this is kind of what I do. I'm an entrepreneur. I love business. I love God, and I love the process of earning revenue, making money, starting businesses, and teaching other people how to do the same. And the reason why Artemis and I started this was because we want to cut a big learning curve off of your trajectory for success, so you don't have to make those same mistakes. So God first, family, and then business. That's how we roll. And now this is spiritual business mastery. So this is what we're talking about today. This is a system that I created around 2017, maybe 2016, 2017. And I got to thinking, what are all the pillars that you have to absolutely succeed in this business? So um, I'm going to let you guys take a moment just to take a gander at this. If you can master this, you can be a multi millionaire, if that's what God has for you and if that's what you choose to be. So just take a look at this for just a moment. So this is what we're going to be studying today. At the very top, you see mindset. Now, I remember when I was recruited to Keller Williams, I'm a real estate broker, and when I joined Keller Williams Realty back in 2009, I was actually recruited to Keller Williams by Gary Keller. And we'd be in the hallways, Gary and I, and he would always talk. He'd turn to me and say, Knolly, there's only two problems in this business. And I say, well, Gary, what are those two problems? It was always the same. Gary's quite interesting because his message has never changed, which I think is great. But he gets up, he says the same thing in every single meeting. He says, there's only two problems in this business. I said, what are those two problems? He said, you either don't have enough leads or you don't have enough leverage. Okay. And I've come to understand over the years, okay, that is actually true to a large degree. So when you talk about leads, that's activities, okay? And when you talk about leverage, that's people, systems, and tools. But the real problem, in my opinion, is mindset. Number one, first and foremost. And then people have a low money consciousness. They're not accountable to anyone, and they're not getting the right training. So we're going to cover all of those today, not just the big two, okay? And really, mindset is the biggest one. So spiritual business mastery is based on more than 30 years of business and success research conducted by best-selling author, trainer, and national speaker Knolly Williams, myself. This method outlines the 8 key pillars for ultimate business success, as well as the 4 bodies. So if you look in the very middle of this, you'll see that I have the S, M, P, and E. What does that stand for? Well, we all have 4 bodies. Okay. Now, the Homo sapiens has multiple brains as well. We won't get into that today, but we do have a brain inside of our skull, but we also have multiple brains. There's a heart brain, there's a gut brain, etc. But let's get into this SMPE. The 4 bodies. We have a spiritual body first and foremost. Okay. As Wayne Dyer said, the body is no more than a garage where we temporarily park our soul. Okay, that's what the body is. So first and foremost, we are spirit beings. So we have a spirit body. The M stands for the mental body. We have a mental body that we have to take care of. The P stands for our physical body. Okay, our physical body. And then we also have the E, which is our emotional body. Most people neglect most of those bodies, and most people don't follow the 8 pillars. So this is the thing that you find different at Knowledge Success Coaching, and of course in our Mentorship Masters group, our real estate group that we have. These are the things that you find different, and the reason why people tell us all the time, we've never seen training like this in the business realm. Why? Because it, by and large, doesn't exist. It does exist here and there, but not by and large. But this is what really leads to ultimate success. Because at the end of the day, if you made that 20 million, okay, but you don't have physical strength, you don't have emotional health, okay, you don't have a good spirit connect, and your mind is blown. What is that 20 million even really? What is it for? People are doing all the stuff that they are doing ultimately for happiness. And I got to tell you that happiness is really a byproduct of living your purpose. All right, so let's move into this. When we are in alignment with our divine destiny and we are achieving optimal success in all 8 pillars of business, as well as in all 4 bodies, success is, listen, inevitable. Success is inevitable. Therefore, making the goal of one's business life to master these areas through the living of one's divine destiny should be the chief aim. Remember, happiness is a byproduct of living your purpose, living your destiny. Okay. So the first one we want to tackle, we want to get on is M. M stands for mindset. Now, whenever I ask you guys, what percentage of your success do you believe has to do with your mindset? Most of you are like at, say, 80%, 85%, 90%. Well, I got to tell you, it's way up there. Okay. Now you can achieve a lot of things by generating a lot of leads, converting those leads, and putting that money in your bank account. But that doesn't really ultimately lead to success. Okay. Success. And success is really reaching your goal, reaching the goal that you want, what you say you want. Most people don't know what they desire, what they truly desire. Um, and so that's a journey in and of itself. So mindset. Mindset is the first and most important pillar. It has been well noted that success in any endeavor is 90% mental. If you believe it, you can achieve it. It is important to understand how the mind works, the functionality of the subconscious and conscious mind, the ego, and so forth. When one can master the mind and then use it to one's advantage, true and lasting progress is possible. So this whole realm of the mind, this is the reason why we get on most of these calls, is to talk about your mindset. And how do we change your mindset? Romans 12, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Very, very important concept. This whole idea of changing the mind. In the mind and subconscious, there sits the ego. And so all this stuff is very well explained in Joseph Murphy's work, or I'm sorry, Dr. Hawkins' work. And if you get the book Letting Go, this is a really, really good book to kind of understand these concepts around subconscious, conscious. Actually, Joseph Murphy's work is very good for that too, which is The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Dr. Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. All of these books, recommendations are in our Facebook group. And there's many, 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 many more. I try to read about a book a week. I caution you against that. If you're not a nut like me, but I'm a nerd. I love to read. I love to accumulate knowledge, and I love to disseminate it. So first and foremost is mindset. Now, second to that, after you've got your mindset mastered, that's first. Then we get into A, and we all know what A stands for. A stands for activities. Now, remember, we talked about the training balance scale. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. And if you didn't get a chance to watch that, you owe it to yourself to watch the training balance scale. Phenomenal information. But when we talk about activities, most people think that the activities is what really gets it done. Scripture says that in the beginning was the Word. Okay, was the Word. Okay, and it also says that's in John. In Genesis it says in the beginning God. Okay, created. And how did He create? He created through the Word. Okay, now He created, so He didn't create through action. And most of us think that it's action that is what is going to get the results. Action is not what gets you the results. Listen to me very carefully. Your action is just a byproduct. Okay, write that down. I think it's very important for you to understand this. Your action or the activities that you do are the byproduct of a still and quiet mind. Okay, because a still and quiet mind will allow you, will lead and direct and guide you. Okay, the right kind of prayer time, the right meditation, it will guide you to the right activities. I see a lot of people out there doing a lot of activities that are spinning wheels and leading them nowhere. I can make I remember one time I was I was in the music business, and I was in a vehicle, and I had a driver back then. It didn't really have a driver on staff, but I did have 14 employees. So at this time, we were going to a video shoot for one of my artists was doing a music video, and we were driving. And of course, one of my employees, I'm going to have him drive. I'm not going to drive, and I was doing business, and I just made a couple of phone calls, 2 or 3 phone calls, and I raised, I think, $100,000 is what I raised with 3 phone calls. And I looked over to the Derek, I think, was driving, and I said, "Man," how long I've been on the phone?" He said, "You've been on the phone for about 30 minutes. Most of it, I was just yapping it up." I wouldn't even go for the ask until I was just, "Hey, how's this going? And how's that?" People that I knew that had money, and I needed to borrow money. And so I said, I just raised $100,000 in 30 minutes. Now, some people would work a full year to get that kind of money. Okay. Um, it, for me, it was a 30-minute exercise. Now, yeah, I was, I didn't know what I know now, and I don't know what I'm going to know in 5 years from now, right now. But so borrowing money is no longer a habit that I have. But back then, that's what we did in the music business. And so it's doing the right activities in the right order that ultimately gets success. Now, how do you know what the right activities are? Well, you listen to me, you listen to Artemis, and you get into your quiet time. By the way, let me say this, it bears saying, the mind doesn't know. Okay, write that down. The mind doesn't know. Okay, your mind doesn't have the answers. Okay, or your brain doesn't have the answer. I should say your brain doesn't know. Now there is uh, kind of really a different topic, but there is what we call a field of consciousness. Okay, and it's where God lives. Okay, we call it the quantum field, and it's where God lives. Okay, so this is the all-knowing. Okay, and when you tap into that, you can know all things, but you can't tap into it by spinning your wheels and being endlessly active in a bunch of activities that don't produce results. Okay, so activities, another key pillar of success is right action. Okay, right action, not action, but right action. One must be doing the things that lead to success. This means learning how to prioritize and focus on the important things in business to the exclusion of all others, if need be. Knowing what is important versus what is merely urgent is critical. The Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, states that 80% of the results will come from 20% of the activities that you are doing. This is very important for you to understand this and to really internalize this and get it down into your psyche and get it into your every fabric of your being. So you got to be doing the right things. Okay. Now, P stands for people. Okay. Remember, when we're talking leverage, activities is really at the end of the day. When we're talking activities, we're talking lead generation. That's the number one activity that you should be engaged in. We call it do the 2 hours every single day. But now, when you move past that, though, nobody succeeds alone. Okay. We're going to need, it takes a village. We're going to need a community. And that's what we're all about here at Knolly Success Coaching. We're a community. Nobody succeeds alone. The creator fashioned each individual with a unique talent set as well as a unique list of deficiencies. Did you know that? So you have a unique talent set and you have a unique list of deficiencies. You are deficient in certain areas. There are no jack of all trades. That doesn't exist. There you will either be, and rightly so. They say he's a jack of all trades, a master of none. Right? You want to become a master. Okay, don't be a jack of all. Be a master. Thus, as human beings, we need one another. Your job, therefore, is to understand where you are weak and partner with others who are strong in those areas. Very critical. In other words, focus on your strong points and hire or barter for your weak ones. Okay. Gary used to say all the time, he said, man, if you suck at that, let go of it. Leave it alone. Who cares? Move on. There is somebody that absolutely loves, I mean, they get up in the morning and they can't wait to do the stuff that you suck at. There's people that if you don't like numbers, there's people that they dream of numbers all day long. They go to school to learn numbers. Okay. And one of the things that we, as entrepreneurs and business owners, we mistakenly think that when we're giving this job to someone else, it's like, I hate to give this job to them. We think that it's a job that nobody wants to do. Like nobody wants to do filing. Nobody wants to organize my database. Nobody wants to return phone calls. Okay, nobody likes doing that. Do you know there's people that love to be on the phone? Okay, I'm not one of them, but there are people that love doing that. And when you connect yourself with the right people, you are rocking and rolling. Okay, and don't use the excuse. I hear somebody saying right now, but Nolly, I can't afford anybody. Okay, These are what we call self-limiting beliefs. This is what keeps you in the lower realm of possibility. Okay. Just, I don't even use that word anymore. Uh, first of all, there's nothing that I have to afford. Okay. My father owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. Okay. Daddy's got a big wallet. So I don't have to afford anything. Okay. I got a dad that's got everything, he owns billions of galaxies. you know, there's nothing too, is there anything too small or too big for the God you serve? Absolutely not. People need people. And when you get your mind right, you start doing the right activities, the universe will bring you the right people to help you in the endeavor for which you were sent into this realm. Okay, it has to happen. Now we get into S, which is something that I find a lot of entrepreneurs are severely lacking, and that's systems. You got to have good systems if you want to play the game and you want to play it at your high level. And I know this is a lot to cover, guys. I know it's 8 pillars. It's like, man, this is a lot of stuff. But trust me, you don't have to do it all. Okay, that's the cool thing about this. So many businesses fail, or at least fail to reach their ultimate potential, because they do not have the right systems in place. In order for your business to become scalable, able to grow in size with minimal additional effort, you have to have the right systems in place. And I want you to write that word down, scalable, and just say, we have to scale. I should scale. Write that down. I should scale. A systematized business is a well oiled machine that can easily run with or without you. Let me say it again. A systematized business is a well oiled machine that can easily run with or without you. If you took a week off, if you took a month off, if you took 3 months off, could your business run without you? If it can't, then you don't have the right systems in place. Remember, every single business goes from I to we to they. Okay. I is I do it. That's a solopreneur. We is a person has a team, and that is a team player, a team leader that runs a team. They is a business owner. Okay. Do you own a business, or does the business own you? Okay. When you go to they, you're in business owner, and they do it. I'm over here getting ideas and inspiration. I'm in the Andes Mountains, and I'm getting inspiration for they. For who's they? Oh, it's they, them. That's who they is, right? So systems is very, very, very critical for you to have. I remember when I would teach, and I would use an analogy when I would teach short sales back in the day. And people wanted, man, they wanted listings. They wanted all this listings, and they wanted more deals, and they wanted. And I asked a question. I'm going to ask you this question. Um, what would happen if you got 21 new pieces of business this week? 21. Like if you're in real estate, you got 21 buyers or you got 21 sellers this week. The reality is most people, it would break their business. It would break. We talk a good game about wanting more business, but do we really have the system in place to facilitate, what we say we want? And I remember my group, my team, my real estate team, we took 21 listings in 1 week. And what changed about our business? Not a single thing, not a single thing, because we had systems in place. And even today, I think large scale. I always think big. And by the way, you can always think bigger. Think big, then bigger. Okay. But I tend to think big. So if so when I do something, I want it to be scalable. Okay, so if it's not scalable, I won't do it, even if right now my business isn't at the size. Like for example, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that you personally contact or call every single customer, new client to your business. You personally call, and you have a 10-minute, 20-minute call with that person. Okay, well, that's great, but is it scalable? Okay, if it's not scalable, you shouldn't be doing it. Let me say it again. If it isn't scalable, you shouldn't be introducing it to your business. because all you're doing is you're creating a scenario where you're going to have to change. Okay, so if you're building a business where you want to generate 20, 30, 40, 50 pieces of business a month, then you should be operating your business right now that way. Doesn't mean you're going to hire the staff or the people or anything like that, but your systems should be in place for a to run any size business. Okay, you should be getting those systems in place right now. Now, T stands for what? Well, tools. Okay, you got to have the right tools for whatever trade you're in. Now, having the right tools in place will allow your business to run smoother and more efficiently. Okay, now the right tools also allow you to do much more with less effort. Tools should never be looked at as an expense, but rather as an investment into the sure success of your operation. So I hear people a lot of times they're like, man, I'm going to get me a new MacBook one day, or I'm going to do that, whatever it is. And the reality is, don't go crazy. Don't make any bad decisions. Don't get irrational, but you should have the right tools for the trade. Okay. If the only thing that's preventing your success is you. Okay, nobody's sabotaging you. Nobody's preventing your success. Nobody's telling you what your threshold is. You're the one that is setting those parameters for yourself. And I got to tell you, having the right tools in place, you can, if I ask you to dig a ditch, or your job is to go dig a ditch, you can get a lot further with a backhoe than you can with a spoon. Okay. And I see a lot of people trying to build a big business or a multi-million-dollar business, and they're building it on $1 tools, $2 or $3 tools. I have a friend of mine, John, and John is in what is John, like a he's kind of like a nuclear physicist, but he's not quite. He's got a PhD in something or another, something you can't pronounce, put it that way. And he talks about what he does is he works at nuclear waste facilities, and he manages the project of decontaminating, nuclear waste facilities. And he talked about this one piece of equipment that they purchased. It's a particular, almost like a Caterpillar tractor, but it has a specific job. Okay, working in these nuclear waste pits. And this particular machine is $50 million. $50 million for one piece of equipment. It is a tool. And once that nuclear waste site is decontaminated, let's say it takes 12 years or whatever the cycle is, that piece of equipment has to be cut up, okay, in pieces and buried. They can never use that piece of equipment anywhere else. It's $50 million and it's for one job. Okay. But they understand the importance of having the right tools. And so many of you are trying to dig a ditch with a spoon, and then all of a sudden you get like a little, maybe a little kid shovel, and you think that's going to do it. No, just go. You can get a backhoe, and guess what? One scoop, done. So make sure you have the right tools. M stands for money. Money. Ask yourself this question: who taught me what I know about money? Like, where is your money consciousness? Where did it come from? Again, who taught you what you currently know about money? Do they have the kind of money you want, or do they have the kind of money that you're aspiring to? My father taught me a lot of wonderful things. Great guy, wonderful man. But I would not and could not take his education on money. Why? Because he didn't have any. Okay. The man could not hold on to money. So while he wanted to teach me about money and he tried to teach me about money, those are going to be lessons that I'm not going to accept. Okay. Who do you listen to? Remember, that's one of the primary rules is who do you listen to? Okay. You listen to people that have what you want or what you desire. And if you have a poor money consciousness, most people do. Okay. Most people in the United States of America and around the world have a poor, low money consciousness. Okay. And it's the kind of consciousness that won't lead to more of it. Most people actually have a lot of negative connotations around money. Okay. And for that, I recommend the book The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Okay. Some people have a tough time reading that book because they don't believe that they're supposed to be rich. Not everybody is, by the way. Let me say it again. Not everybody is supposed to be rich because for some people, money for them in their hand is a curse. Remember, C.S. Lewis put it very well. He said, money is a beautiful thing in the hand, but a terrible thing in the heart. Okay. So don't get it twisted though. Money, there's 2,300 references in scripture about money. 2,300. Okay. And they're there for a reason. And they're not negative references. Remember, there were many millionaires and billionaires in the Bible. Many, many millionaires and billionaires in the Bible. People like Noah, Adam, Solomon, David. The list goes on and on. Millionaires and billionaires. Okay. So the mindset, the money mindset. Okay. So let me go back. Okay. So having the right money mindset and beliefs around money will make your success journey more enjoyable. It's very important for you to understand this. Many entrepreneurs and business owners live in a roller coaster of feast or famine. Okay. Feast or famine. That is not where God wants you. When you begin having the right relationship around money, okay, the game actually becomes fun as you begin to experience abundance all the time with a complete absence of lack, want, or need. Okay, very profound. A complete absence. How would you like to live your life with a complete absence of lack, want, or need? Okay, this is when you can really start to make a difference in the world and really start to do God's work on the earth. Okay, somebody asked me the other day, "Are you self-employed?" I said, "No, I don't work for myself. I work for God, baby. I don't work for self." Okay, I stopped working for myself a long time ago. I got a big boss now, right? And but having the absence of lack, want, or need, that is the original state of human beings. Okay, this is the Garden of Eden. This is what God originally intended for mankind. Okay, we've gotten away from it. By the way, if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, and you should be if you're listening to this or watching this, you have been called to make money, to generate money. I'm not saying everybody should have that, but if you're a business leader, an entrepreneur, guess what? You have been called to be a money creator. Okay. And there's nothing wrong with it. Stop pushing it away. Stop shunting it. Money's good for the good that it can do. Okay. So that's money. Now we're going to get to the next one, and that is A. And A stands for something that a lot of my students don't like, and that's accountability. Accountability. Don't be afraid of the word. Okay. Accountability simply means the ability to give an account. That's all accountability means. Do you have the ability to give an account? The reason why successful athletes, celebrities, top CEOs, and all successful people in general have mentors and coaches is because without accountability, they would never have achieved the heights of success that they have attained. The annals of recorded history have proven without a doubt that human beings need to have accountability in order to reach their ultimate potential. Let me say it again. The Homo sapiens is incapable of reaching his or her potentiality without accountability. It will not happen. Okay. Now, there might be a rare bird, a rare case of an individual that is so like internally driven, I should say, or God driven, God directed, or has sort of ascended up, in higher to enlightenment, to where they are at a point where they really have this down. But I will tell you that 99% of the people, it doesn't matter if you're making a million a year or 100 million, you need accountability because you probably are not achieving your ultimate greatness. Okay. Ask yourself this question. Am I achieving my ultimate greatness? Am I reaching my personal best? My personal best. I guarantee for most people, the answer is going to be no, because you really don't know what your personal best is. Most people would for whatever reason, they will achieve at a higher level for me as their coach than they will for themselves and their own family. Okay. When they get Uncle Nolly in and I start to get on them and say, hey, are we doing this? Are we doing that? Are we, that accountability piece? And that's why it's so important for you guys, for each and every one of you, to have an accountability partner. And make sure because that's a free thing that we do here in the group, make sure you have your accountability partner and make sure that you are following the system that I teach on accountability. Okay. Now, by the way, one of the reasons that big frank like a friend, let's take a Chick-fil-A. Let's take this for example. 80% of small businesses fail. Okay. This may be something you already know. That's according to USA Today. 80% of all small businesses will fail, okay, within their first 1 to 3 years. Okay. But interestingly, when they did the study and they looked at franchises, more than 80% of franchises succeed. You're talking about, like, let's say a Chick-fil-A. So why would a Chick-fil-A succeed where Jack's fish sandwiches or whatever it might be, or Jack's Chicken Shack didn't succeed? Why is that possible? Okay. Well, it's really the 8 pillars. Mindset, number one, activities, people, systems, tools, accountability, the money, okay, and then training we'll get into. But when you have a franchise, you have extreme accountability. You have somebody looking at your numbers. You have somebody looking over your shoulder. You have somebody looking at your operation. And if you're not meeting your numbers, what'll happen? You'll get a phone call. Hey, what's going on here, Jack? Why come we're not meeting our numbers here? Now, if you consistently don't meet your numbers, what will happen? You'll get somebody will get into a jet plane and they will fly to your location, probably at your expense, and they will actually walk through your establishment and they will figure out what is going on. Because if you're not succeeding, you're not following the system, okay? There's something, but see, you have accountability around that when you have a franchise. And that's why most franchises succeed, whereas most small businesses don't. Very important for you guys to understand that. Now, T, we're making full circle to the last pillar, and that is training. Okay. Whether it be trainings like this, webinars, seminars, audio books, very key. The most successful business owners and entrepreneurs are lifelong learners. Remember that readers are leaders, okay, or leaders are readers, whichever way you want to say that. In order to have maximum output, you have to have the best input. Top experts never seek to rest on their laurels, but instead are dutiful in learning new skills, tips, tricks, techniques, and strategies for success. Okay. Remember, there is always more to learn. The primary vehicles of learning will be books, audios, videos, and live events. Okay. And so I like to do all those. I like to write books. I like to put audios together. I like to put videos like the one you're watching right now. If you're not live with me right now, thank y'all for being here with me. And of course, live events, man. I mean, I can't wait till we get back to our live events because that is really where a lot of the magic happens. Okay. So let's look at these again. So these are 8 keys to success. You have to, in my opinion, from what I've seen in all my entrepreneurial studies and personal experience, you've got to implement all 8 of these. Mindset, success is 90% mental. Activities, you time block for success. That's how you get the activities done. But you got to hear, you got to be open to spirit when spirit is speaking. People is who will do it. Who will do it? That's people. Systems, how will they do it? Tools is what will they do it with? PST, that's leverage. Okay. Money, be debt free with recurring income. That's the way I live. I have 0 debt, no mortgage, no car payments, no nothing. I paid off everything and I have recurring income. Okay. So I don't have to work for money. Okay. Very important. That's a whole concept that I'm going to be teaching you guys. Time I teach you a little bit in every one of these, but accountability, get a mentor. Okay. And have your accountability partner. Very, very critical. Training is keep learning. Okay, so this is spiritual business mastery. Let's look at these 4 bodies real quick. We're going to look at them real quick, and then I'm going to see if you guys have any questions around this. Hopefully, this has been very helpful. If you follow this, guys, I got to tell you, you will achieve the success that you've been wanting. Okay, it's very, very critical uh, to follow this and not deviate from it. And by the way, this particular pillar, these 8 pillars, if you think about this, these are, you see them as circles, but think of these as pillars that raise up to the heavens, and that is what your business sits on top of. Okay, is these 8 pillars. Okay, and if you got all 8 of these pillars rocking in your business, you got a multi-million-dollar business that's scalable and will stand the test of time. Okay, now your 4 bodies: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. Spiritual body, first and foremost, you have a spirit body. It is an extension or a piece of God and is eternal. So you advance in the spiritual plane through prayer, meditation, and study. Mental body, your mental body must be well understood and well cared for. You know, as one person put it, if you don't take care of your body, where else are you going to live? Okay. Once properly understood and mastered, new paradigms are possible and minimal effort is required. Okay. And these are new paradigms. Once you understand these new paradigms about the physiology, how your body actually, or I'm sorry, your mental body, how your mental body actually works, okay, that the fact that that 12% is conscious, 88% is unconscious, then you begin to open new doors. Okay, physical body, the physical body is the garage where you temporarily park your soul. The body must be well nourished and tended to so that it will be well poised to assist you. Okay, your body is your assistant. Okay, when you're carrying excess weight, okay, when you're just weighing it down, it's like, man, I'm trying to keep up with you, but your mind is getting real clear, but your body's just trying to keep along. No, you want to be an optimal, you want to be a machine, optimal physical shape. And then your emotional body. Okay, emotional blocks of all kinds prevent many people and many from becoming or achieving more. Having a well-balanced emotional body is paramount to success. Absolutely. So again, this is Knolly Success Coaching. If you're not part of this, we want you here. You sign up for free at knolly.com. And I call this the Millionaire Business Blueprint. The Millionaire Business Blueprint. So hopefully that has been good content, good information, notes. Anybody taking notes? Let me see if you guys have any questions around this. Uh, put it down in the chat, uh, um, and I will see what you guys are talking about. So Dr. Carrie Jones, she says, I'm drinking elderberry tea with honey and lemon. Boy, you guys are on it. What's up? I see you. All right, you guys are on it. Joanna says that she's been listening to Letting Go, finding it very empowering. Great, great. Pamela's listening to Letting Go again. That's one of those books that I listen to twice a year. This is the book they're talking about, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. And it is a phenomenal book. This is the book that I recommend for the emotional body. Okay, for the emotional body. I've got another one too for that, but that's a really good one. Diana says taking notes, lots of notes. Let's see, who else? Okay, you got okay. Somebody's asking me to describe my morning ritual. Yeah, I will do that. So what's my morning ritual? And I actually have a YouTube video out that talks about this. So um, my wife and I get up about 6:30 or so. And first thing we do for about 5 minutes is we hang our head over, we basically go, we back our head up we hang our head over the bed. That's what we do. Now we have a teeter machine that will actually invert you upside down. And we do that sometimes too. But we just let all that blood rush to our brain for about 5 minutes. So we get on the edge of the bed and we hang our head off the edge of the bed. Okay. So when you do that, you have to be careful how you get up. So there's videos around that. So that's the first thing we do. Then we get up and we do our little routine, and we have we hydrate first thing. We have lemon juice of one lemon, sometimes two lemons, 20 ounces, 24 ounces of water, and we drink that. Boom, we slam it. And then we wait about 30 minutes, and then we have 24 ounces of fresh celery juice, organic. Okay. And then after we do that, we go on a 4 mile walk, 4 miles. Okay. We come back, and then typically I'll do, if it's 3 days a week, I'll do strength training. So I'll do that for 50 minutes. And then I'm doing the two, just like you guys. I'm doing, my 2 hours of lead generation. And then I've got appointments in the afternoon. So that's my morning. That's my ritual. What I used to do when I started about 4 years ago with letting go, I used to meditate for an hour to an hour and a half every single day. But what you'll find, those of you that are meditators, what you'll find is ultimately your meditation becomes a way of life. Okay. So you're like right now, literally, I'm always in meditation. Like it's what we call like a walking meditation. So I'm literally always in meditation. But that's my morning. That's my morning ritual, if you will. So, and throughout the day, we mostly eat. My wife and I eat 80 to 90% raw organic fruit. Okay, this is when you go back to the way the Homo sapiens was created in the Garden of Eden. God prescribed for us what our diet was, and He said, any herb bearing seed, it shall be for you as food. That's fruit. Okay, so melons, berries, fruits. That's what we eat about 80 to 90%. And then, of course, I mean, and this is not dogma. You guys asked me, so I'm telling you, you can eat whatever you want. Okay, that's on you. But when you do the study around it, you'll find that the fruit is the closest to the Homo sapiens. In other words, we're like 70% water. Well, what is a banana? What is an apple? What is an orange? It's the same. It's just like us, 70% water. Okay, there's a lot of research behind it, but so that's what we do. And then in the evening, we'll have a meal, some kind of other kind of stuff. Typically, we'll eat mostly veganish, but not always. Okay, so anyway, that's a whole nother discussion. One day we'll have a whole talk around food and stuff. But okay, Mina says that book is a beast. Got to get healthy, mind, body, and spirit. Yeah. Um, there's a for the body. Artemis and I recommend the book, The Miracle Detox Source Book. That's by Dr. Robert Morse, Morse. So we have a book for every body. So for the mental body, we recommend this book right here, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Now we have many, many, many books that we recommend, but we know not everybody likes to geek out on books like we do. So we have our top books. Like this is our top one for the mind. This is our top one for the emotional body, letting go. And then the top one for the physical body is Dr. Robert Morse. And then for me, my top book for spirituality is the Bible. I prefer the book of John as my top book for that, the book of John. Okay. Carrie Jones says, thank you for the biblical references. Those of you that don't know, I became a Bible teacher at the age of 18. Okay, so I'm a Bible teacher above everything else. Like I have more knowledge in scripture than in any other topic. So it will come out. And I've led a weekly Bible study every single week since I was 18. Now we've missed a week or here there, but I pretty much have done it consistent. I'm 50 now. I've been doing it since I was 18 years old. So, but thank you. Yeah, I ran away from studying the Bible for many years because I didn't want anything to do with it. But God has a way of catching up with us. Okay, so somebody's asking me about helpful affirmations. So affirmations are seasonal. So and Artemis is really the guy that has some really good affirmations for you guys. I find that many of my favorite affirmations are here. Feel free to prosper. Okay. So I'm one of those that doesn't really do many affirmations. I the Let me just say this: there's a point at which you actually move past affirmations. Okay. I call it beyond belief. So belief in scripture, the word pistio means to fully rely on. It's the word pistio in the Greek. It's the word belief. So when Jesus says believe, That's the word he's meaning, to fully rely on. Now, to know is moving beyond belief. So in other words, I say, well, I believe, for example, I believe that Jesus is the Son of God. Okay, that's a great belief. But when you move past that, you say, well, I know that he's the son. You see, that's a whole different paradigm. And so affirmations are really set in place to not necessarily convince, but to rewire and realign the subconscious mind into realignment. But there will become a point where you'll do less and less affirmations because they're no longer useful. You don't need the affirmation because it's like, I know I'm prosperous. I know that I'm a child. I know there's things that So the affirmations are great. So if you're at a place where you should be, you're doing lots of affirmations, keep doing them. Okay. But at some point, um, you're going to be like, duh, your subconscious is going to be like, dude, why you keep saying that? It's like, we already know, we're already on that. So you're going to move into that. That's great. So, Joanna's asking, how can we join your Bible study? So I have an online church that's called Front Row Church. Okay. So just look up that on YouTube, Front Row Church, and you'll be able to join in. I do a weekly Bible study that way as well. So that's going to be lots of fun. That's good. The book titles. Somebody's asking, uh, I have my list of top books. Somebody's asking, can I put the book titles on Facebook? Yes, it's already in the Facebook group. I think it's in module number 3. But you'll find a list of my favorite books. And any of you guys that already have this book, if you're in real estate, you should have this, Triple My Listings. If you don't, it's free. You go to Knolly.com. We mail it to you. You pay the shipping. And in here, I've got a list of my top 20 books. So if you've already got it on your shelf, this is my list of my top 20 books that I recommend. Okay. And that's also on our Facebook group too, that particular list. Uh, yeah, what's up, Jim? Jim is in the house. All right, good to see you, man. Jim is a movie director and producer, and he has in the chat box he put Beyond Belief the Movie, beyondbeliefthemovie.com. So you definitely want to go check out. I'm going to be going and checking out because I had a really high level conversation with Jim yesterday. Great guy. Okay, so I know we're going a little bit over, but Dr. Carey is asking about, in this market, do you think marketing is essential for listings? Yes. You should always market for listings in any market. You should, but I think in this market, you more so should be going to your SOI more than any place else, or trying to rock one of the 7 niches that I remember. I did a series on YouTube about the top 5 niches. So pick one of those niches and go to your SOI. Continue to keep going to them because right now the market is so hot that anything you get will sell. And so you need an inside track on who's thinking about selling right now. But that's all stuff we teach in Mentorship Masters too. So can I put up the slide of the SMPE? Yeah, hold on a second. Let's see if I have it here. No, I don't have it here. I usually have that slide where I could just hold it up, but let me just, somebody's asking about this particular slide again. So let me go back there and let's just go back. So somebody wanted to see this slide. This is the 4 bodies, the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. Okay. Remember that Jesus said we must love the Lord our God with all our strength. Okay, that's the physical body. With all our mind, with the mental body, with all our, he said, with all your strength, with all your mind, with all your heart. Okay, that's the emotional body, and with all your soul, that's the spirit body. So even Jesus mentions the 4 bodies in Scripture. So that's the 4 bodies right there. You guys are having too much fun. All right. So, hey, I love y'all. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Say goodbye. We're at the end of this. It's been great. Has it been good? Let me hear you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Knolly.
Awesome as usual. Thank you,
Thank
Knolly.
you. Blessings. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Even though I'm injured, thanks.
You're the bomb.
Thank you.
Get well soon.
Bye.
You're awesome,
You
Knolly.
have a
Thank
great
you.
day.